It's wider than a hospital sheet. It all lies in the balance right now. If I don't get some paint on this canvas, I may never start. Yeah, it's me. No, I'm working on the last one right now.
It's my dealer.
I got no plumbing.
She's gonna want to know when I'll be done.
Traded in my paintbrush for a shovel.
What am I going to tell her?
Hell no.
I can't paint the last one? If I'm not a painter, who am I? I was a boy. Then I was an 18-year-old sergeant. The river lay on one side of me, and a jungle on the other. The whole population of Vietnam was on the road that morning. Women, children, old men, the dust boiling over the top of the truck, weaving in and out of traffic, fast. I kept thinking, we're getting too close to people, too goddamn close.
Swan, I think we hit that guy. We gotta go back.
The truck sped on, a portent of what was to come. I should have gone back.
Why didn't I go back? Fear. I was a boy. Why angels? It's too obvious. They arrived on a long, slow tide in the studio before I fully realized it. And now they're gone, and they've taken the talent with them. I feel like Faust because of my past sins. God is punishing me. My sin, forgetting. And why wouldn't I forget? The war has taken so much away from me. I was in such a hurry. I'd missed so much. I wanted to devour everything. And my past, the fundamentals, misdeeds, misgiving, misanthrope, painting like it was a hobby, pulling the character of artists on and off of me like it was a shirt to be discarded in dirty laundry, pretending. Oh, I painted when it suited me. More of this than that. And the blonde, she wandered into my studio one day and I followed her out of it. Didn't return for 2 full years. Can you imagine the paintings I lost? I'll tell you a story about how all this happened. It was a cold, rainy, wet, miserable day outside. Baltimore. I was lost. My truck broke down outside of a museum. Call it whatever you want, fate, kismet. I wandered into the museum to get warm, and down a long, lonely, dark corridor, there by itself, on a small little wall, was Rembrandt's painting of his son Titus. Immediately, I was struck by Titus's resemblance to a pig. This is pivotal. I think this is when I became an artist, finally, because I realized I was Titus with all my bumps and warts, my failings, my past. And the painting, the luminosity, the light, it was as if it was coming out of Titus himself, falling over me. It was so powerful. It pulled me into the painting, and I saw the skill, the craft, the looseness of the paint flowing and oozing like cement. And I thought, if the great Rembrandt could paint something so ugly, that beautifully, maybe I could do the same thing. Oh, grand idea, little man. If I could, I would follow. I went home, and I vowed I was a painter. It's nobody's fault. It's not yours, it's not mine. It's just random shit. You know, I've only been good at two things in my life. One is painting, the other is busting my ass out there as a laborer in the cement fields. But I loved it, holding my own with the convicts, the desperados. Sure wasn't Mr. Winston's art class. Inexplicably, pouring cement taught me a lot about painting. Placing the cement, not pouring it. Give me a drop of the mud here, Big Earl would say, pointing his big black finger at the cement, and I would place the cement where he pointed. You can't have the cement spitting in the finisher's eye. I love my cement smooth, smooth as a baby's ass, Big Earl would say. Smooth as my baby's ass, Big Tim would say, and they would stand around laughing. Then after the pour, we're stripping the forms off the slab, and it lay there in the sunlight, gleaming. And the finisher was standing back, admiring their work. You done good, boy, Big Earl would say, punching me in the shoulder. You a man among men. The mud, she sure does love you. First thing I ever painted was my bedroom door.
Red. The Red Door. Grandmother nicknamed me James Red Door. The neighbor shortened it, took to calling me Red Door. It stuck. How big the bastard is. I have to be out of my mind to think I could paint something even close to great this big. It's a start. That's all. I need some ideas, something fresh. Or maybe something old, like my letters.
To Mother on her 57th birthday, love, James. I was stuck in a gun tower for 13 hours waiting for them to get me, but they didn't. It's a funny feeling knowing someone is trying to kill you. To Mother, love and beauty and art are all that matters. I wait warm weather, love, James. Here's another one, to Mother. To Mother. There's a whole universe in here. She didn't get it. March 3rd, 1969, Ben Tui Province. Dear Grandmother, I'm alive, yet I cannot in any understanding comprehend this war. It's so far from what I know. If I had to touch something now to recognize myself, it would be my own face. I am not part of this. I am a witness, however, and what I see I must not describe to you. At night, I stand in the jungle watching. I'm given a rifle, yet I place it far from me, covering it with sticks and grass until it disappears. I don't know what I will do if they come. Your loving grandson. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And they haven't come back. The angels. They got me into this shit. The talent. It's not come back. The paint, she sure don't love me now. They demanded. I fulfilled their instructions. Only now I'm done doing their little dance with the fates. I painted everything they wanted me to paint. Painting prayers to the dead. Remember, I was an 18-year-old sergeant. It was life and death.
Better me than you, brother. Better me than you. Don't forget me. 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 Don't forget me.
Some mirrors you look good in, some mirrors you don't. And some mirrors you should never look into. I'll tell you the reason I forgot. Shame. I was ashamed of who I was. I was ashamed that I was powerless to stop death. That grandmother had raised me to believe that love will out, and when it didn't, I was still alive and they were dead. And somewhere down the road, a long distance of years, when I thought I was some fucking great artist, that I was special in my preserve, above the great unwashed masses, Nietzsche's poet priest, that they, the angels, arrived, and now they vacated, and I'm stuck alone in my studio with the canvas. I'm a phony. I've got nothing to say. I'm no hero. The only faintly noble thing about me is my art. What is art anyway? An object to be hung on a rich man's wall? The museum? The preserve of the elite? But how could I make my art without my story? How do sheep die of fright?
I was 10, and my mother took me to see Fellini's La Strada in Italian. A stark, violent movie with Anthony Quinn. A black and white landscape full of desolate beaches. A tragic ending. A curious film for a mother to take her son. That summer, she saved me when I was playing on a hill in the backyard and was consumed by red fire ants. The summer after that, I was sent to grandmother's.
I'm relegated to painting coffee cups. I can't paint this big bastard. I don't know what to do with it. If I could, I'd paint a perfect, pretty little painting for them, but I can't. Don't ask me why. I should call my dealer right now, tell her it's going well, I got paint on the canvas, we're getting somewhere. Mama-san. She's all business and unsentimental. She only wants paintings that sell. Look, it's a formula, Saigon tea. You can't have a piece of art that elicits too much curiosity out of the buyer. There can't be a speck of too much information in it. Otherwise, they take the painting home, hang it over their couch, or sitting there having their glass of Chardonnay, and suddenly they feel the sorrow, the sadness. Painting is coming right back to the gallery, kaput, into the deal. I learned early on, you can't sell sorrow.
The first time they came, I noticed something. Something closing in around me, pressing against me. Like an angry crowd, finally forcing my paintbrush to start. I call them angels. Maybe because of grandmother, she believed in them. They were voices, yet not. They wanted me to paint prayers to the dead.
I feel like I'm dying. The stress, pressure to do something great, only it's not. I'm not. Nothing lasts. I just don't want to be forgotten. Painting immortalizes me. If I can't do this, what can I do? I sure don't feel like dying for my art right now. I feel like laying down, going to sleep.
I'd gone to war. Actually, I volunteered. Don't forget that when you're adding things up. I don't want to paint. There's another one around here. I like a lot. I like. I've already done that. I don't care about that anymore. But I like that lady with the head. If I wasn't so tired, I'd pick her up and. I've done their bidding. 5 months, busting my ass, blood, sweat, and tears. 11 great paintings, they're near as great as I can paint. I'm pissed off. Had to deal with my technique changing. Look at it. Coarsening of the brush strokes, loss of control, loosening of the boundaries. I've done their bidding, painting prayers of the dead swollen faces. You think that's easy? It was as if I wasn't even painting them. I was just holding on to the brush, allowing. They became illusory. Hell, they'll never sell. Uptown, right now, the art store owners, the burgers, the mayor, they're planning my fate. You think they want art like this in their precious little world? Art full of barbed wire? Hell no. Too much blood will be spilled. I remember Mr. Winston, my old art teacher, yelling at me, "Red door, that's a paintbrush, use it accordingly. You're not harpooning Moby Dick." And you know what? Every time you paint a painting, you are harpooning Moby Dick. I'm the color red, and Rembrandt's yellow, and the sea's deepest blue, and Goya's black. I'm the color red, and Rembrandt's yellow, and the sea's deepest blue, and Goya's black. I am the color red, and the far away, the farthest, I found only in my own blood. I'm the color red, red for my blood. I'm the color red, and Rembrandt's yellow, and the sea's deepest blue, and Goya's black. I am the color red, I am the red door, I am red door in the furthest away place. I'm the color red, and Rembrandt's yellow, and the sea's deepest blue, and Goya's black. I am the color red, and the far away, the farthest, I'm the color red, and Rembrandt's yellow, and the sea's deepest blue, and Goya's black.
The war has been good to me. You might say the war saved my life. Wrenched me away from my family, tore me out of the suburbs, away from the endless summers that all seemed the same. It delivered me to my life.
Painting saved my life. The war saved my life. They saved my life. And I judged them. I was capable of the same violence. I just arrived at the war too soon. By the time I was 35, I was so far away from that innocent kid I was in Vietnam. Ruined me, broke my heart. No wonder I never wanted to stay with anything. No wonder I never wanted to finish the damn thing. No wonder I don't want to finish this painting. I walk away from things so easily. If I could paint that, I would paint that. The walking away. Walking away. Walking away of things that I loved so much, that were so dear to me. That's what you do in a war. You walk away and walk on and walk forward. Then you forget. But you never forget, you have to go back. If I could, I'd paint a pretty little painting, but I can't. Too much in there. Even if I start, I end up someplace else. The suffering, the sadness, it'll find me in its own way, in its own time. Why are the dead the dead? It's just random shit. It's not your fault, it's not my fault. Nobody's fault. It's just what it is. Art should bristle with razor blades. I like the absoluteness, the certainty, the perfection of knowing that each stroke was gathering power and then more power until finally the mark was mine and mine alone, that absolute purity of it. Yet, still war. Oh my God. How could I have been so reckless? Look at all the work I've created for myself. I don't want to do it. I'm going to call my dealer right now and see if I can sell her on the horses. No, I know exactly what she's going to say. The ad says angels. People are waiting for angels.
Why are the dead the dead? I thought I'd left them behind. I think sometimes I should have died with them, remained as I was, a boy, before I fucked everything up. They didn't have a chance to live their lives. Who knows? Maybe they would have done something great, invented something to help mankind. Maybe not. Heroes never die. I was an 18-year-old sergeant. I was running. I walked off the base past the security shack and out into the street, into the heat and dust, and disappeared. I hitched a ride to the Army airfield and caught a chopper headed to the port city of Vung Tau, Papasan's city by the sea, a city of memories. As we lifted off, I felt the river pulling and tugging at me and then falling away. I felt the wind in the cockpit as we headed into the blue sky, and then we flew into Vung Tau. That night on the beach, under a hanging full moon, I swam out between the tall freighters. I could taste the oil and the salt water, and I thought, if I could just keep swimming forever, I could swim out of here, away from the war. And then, too tired to swim anymore, I lay on my back in the ocean between the tall ships and lay there until the fear of what was under me made me swim back to shore. Exhausted, I slept on the beach. In the morning, I watched the natives beating a giant sea snake. I went to the airfield and I caught a ride on a chopper. Hey, you going to Ben Tui? Hey, you going back to Ben Tui? I was going back to the war. Patience. If I wait long enough, it will come back. It always does. There's always another day. The painting will finally reveal itself. Words won't help. Who knows really where the talent comes from? There's no language to describe how the paintings arrive. Everything else is just bullshit.
Why are the dead the dead? We'll never know. It's just random shit. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. And no matter how many paintings I do, it'll never be enough. No matter how much good I do, it'll never be as good as their dying. No one knows or decides who lives or who dies in a war. It's just a war. 10 years after the war, I found myself driving up my grandmother's road, and I remember the crunching of the gravel under the tires. Seems like I'd spent half my life on the road. And it broke my heart to see grandmother standing there, knowing she'd been waiting for me. I had my old dog and my old truck. And at night, grandmother and I drove in the truck across the desert, the wheels fairly skimming across the desert floor. And I remember the love passing between us. Love was the glue. And then one night on the freeway, driving home, the fast lane, the traffic thick around me. Up ahead in the fast lane, I saw a giant stallion on its hind legs. I slammed on the brakes, slid into the meridian, got out of my truck, and I ran down the road as fast as possible. And I remember how quiet it got. I came up to the horse and I threw my arms up and I said, "Come here, you'll be safe with me." And he came over and trotted, put his head on my shoulder, and we stood there, eye to eye. A lost horse saving a lost boy. Sometimes after that, I drove north. I never saw my grandmother again. I realize they're never going away. They're part of me, all of them. The paradox, the joy and the responsibility. For without them, I have nothing to say, nothing to paint. The angels are the paintings. And the conflict's always there, but so is the love. It just means I'm alive. I have to take them with me. What if I paint something so horribly, beautifully alive, nobody wants it?